This morning, our study is entitled Conquering Anxiety. Anxiety is something that challenges all of God's people. And we learned in prior studies that it is God's desire that we have rest in the midst of storms. Storms are tumultuous situations that come into people's lives. Storms are situations that happen to God's people while they're in enemy territory. And today we're going to learn some things that help us in becoming victorious day by day as we live in enemy territory. Our Bible spelling word is anxiety. Anxiety is, of course, is spelled Anxiety. Webster defines anxiety as a state of being uneasy or worried about what may happen. That's the first definition that Webster provides to us. Uneasy or worried about what may happen. The second definition that Webster provides to us is an eager and often slightly worried desire. An eager and often slightly worried desire. For instance, if someone is worrying about doing well, a person can have anxiety about doing well on an assignment, on a test, or in a class, or on a project that they might have at a job. Every day, anxiety sneaks up on people undetected, every day. Left alone, what happens, anxiety leads to stress. We learned, as was mentioned a few minutes ago, that fear enters into the picture. Many times when people are confronted by new challenges in this game called life, and that anxiety then leads to the condition known as stress and many other conditions or results in a person's life. A person may have developing a complex. A person who is not confident, who is self-conscious. A person who has low self-esteem happens as a result of a condition where anxiety was present, causing the person not to think that they have the capabilities to do something or to accomplish something. And what happens often, many times, these conditions that develop in a person's life, they are treated with some type of corrective action that provides temporary relief. And unfortunately, though, the focus is not placed on conquering the uneasy or worried state. Many times what happens, it's almost like focusing, the answer that is provided is an answer that focuses on the symptoms instead of the root cause. And in order to really conquer the anxiety, we have to go to the root cause. And that's what God does through Jesus Christ. He gives us a way or a strategy for proactively dealing with this state or this challenge that confronts his people. Our Bible memory verse, which comes out of the book of St. Luke, will give us more insight to God's view of how he views us as having victory in these situations. Our Bible memory verse comes out of St. Luke, the 12th chapter. In St. Luke, the 12th chapter, our Bible memory verse starts at the 22nd verse, and it reads, "And he said unto his disciples, Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat, nor neither for the body, what you shall put on. The life is more than meat, and the body is more than raiment. Consider the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which neither have storehouse nor barn, and God feedeth them. How much more are ye better than the fowls?" And which of you, with taking thought, can add to his stature 1 cubit? Our Bible memory verses come out of the book of St. Luke, the 12th chapter, verse 22 through 25. Jesus said in these scriptures, as he spoke to his disciples, said that he does not want them to place so much thought on what they shall eat or on their body and their clothes that they wear. Obviously, they were placing a lot of emphasis on these things, and the disciples did not just get that. They didn't just create that approach to life. Obviously, it was something that was being done in the society that they lived in. That was the way that people did things. That was the way that people thought about those things. Those things had a high priority in their society. And what Jesus was sharing with them was that don't place so much emphasis on those things. Jesus basically was telling them that there is more to your life than just meat that you eat or what clothes you are wearing. Jesus wants them to recognize that putting a lot of emphasis on those things means that there may be a chance that their priorities may be confused. What he wanted them to know is that God provides food and clothing for other animals. In the scripture, he gave the example of the raven. And if he provides food and clothing for the other animals that are in nature every day, why should we, as being another animal, be any different? And so what the Bible has declared unto us is a message about our priority, our thinking about these various subjects. We're going to explore a little bit more in detail in the study about what the significance of us having a thought process that leads us to making these things a priority. We're going to explore in our study why it's important that we don't get into this space. We should also learn during the course of this study how God's people should use his strategy for recognizing and effectively dealing with anxiety proactively, because it will occur. It will occur. How we deal with it, though, is something we have a lot more control over than it appears. We just need to know how to effectively play the game, as the Bible told us last week from last week's study, learning God's way.
Oh, praise be to God, from whom all blessings flow. It is our prayer at Clay Family Ministries that your life has been increased with the increase of God through this study. We appreciate and are thankful for your fellowship during this life skills study segment.